low to no cost. Are you new to real estate, struggling in real estate? You're in the right place. Each week, I pick a random house off the internet, analyze it for a cash deal and a creative deal. This will help you be able to solve more problems for more sellers and your business. Whether you're just starting out or seasoned, this podcast is specifically designed to give you practical tools that you can use right away. Welcome to the Corner Barn. I am Chris Thompson, that bearded guy, the creative guy, second generation investor and realtor with 19 years in the business. My goal is simple. It's to help beginners and struggling investors close their first deal or their next deal, all while using low to no cost tools to analyze properties and craft strong offers. This is the weekly deal analysis. Let's dive into this week's show. Hey, real quick, can you hit that like button for me? I appreciate you. Thanks. This week, we are sticking with Indiana and diving down to what I'm pretty sure is the capital, Indianapolis. 8434 Smithfield Lane in Indianapolis, Indiana, 46237. This is a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, a little over 2,500 square foot. It was built in 2000, and there's a small HOA fee of $36. So let's dive into this thing and see if we can make a good deal out of it. All right. Good driveway, good yard, brick front here. Everything else is siding. Overall, looks in really good shape on the outside so far. And likely LVP floors. Good kitchen. Looks like good space in there. Family room. Really kind of wide open. Half bath, I'm sure. Laundry room. There's the other half bath. Probably the basement, considering the column and the tiny window here. Some unfinished space. Bedrooms. Full bath. Nice deck off the back. 2-story foyer. Some people love them, some people hate them. If you're concerned about heating and cooling costs, you wouldn't want one. Deck seems to be in pretty good shape. Backing up to woods. I don't know. What are your thoughts on backing up to woods? For me personally, I like it because you're not backed up to another house. Garage. All right. Overall, from the pictures, it looks really good. And it looks like this 3-bathroom is actually 2 full and 1 half bath. What else can we find here? What is the agent telling us? We have all dining. Close to the highway. It's only been on the market for 20 days. And I dig for the ones that have been on the market the longest. And unfortunately, this is the longest I can find. So seems to be a pretty hot market. What else can we learn about this one? Nothing available. So this must be a non-disclosure state. Maybe. I don't know, because it's telling us the sale price. Who knows? We'll keep digging. So listed on the 21st, removed on the 6th, price change on the 9th of last month. All right, so this thing's really been on the market for a little over 2 months at the time of this recording. So we're closer to 60 days on this one. And they bought it in 2000 for 242. Doesn't really look like they made any major updates, if any. So let's keep digging here. Property tax is 28 and a half. All right, so we do have a sold comp here, 312, similar, be a little bit smaller, but overall similar. When did this sell? No, it's not going to be a non-disclosure because this already has it here. When did they sell this? Sold in 23, so that's really not doing us any good. What else can we find? And another very similar comparable home. When did this sell? Sold in beginning of the year. So we're getting a lot closer, and that's at 320. All right. And it looked like there was one more sold in there. We'll take a look at. 360. Sold in 24. That's not helping us. Give me something more recent, would you? All right, nothing there. All right, so we have a decent amount of active competition in the area. 335, 325, 285, 360, 287.5, 396, 200. These numbers are pretty all over the place. All right. I think we have found out as much as we can here. So now we're going to jump over to the Invest Nest and break this thing down for a cash deal. I have it pulled up here on the Invest Nest. I love this site. This is how I break down all of my cash deals. If you want to try it out, there will be a link below in the description. If you use that code, you get your first month 50% off and 1 week for free. Try it out, see if you like it. It is definitely built for beginners. I find it extremely useful, and I would say I'm seasoned. So they're saying the estimated value is 316 and estimated rents are just shy of 1,800. And this is estimating on their mortgage, excuse me. All right, what else can we find? Another thing that they offer that is included in that monthly price is skip tracing. Skip tracing is basically finding out that person's contact information. If they've ever bought anything online, those sites sell your information. So if you get random phone calls from salespeople, that's where it comes from. They skip trace your information.
I need a favor. Can you hit that like button for me? I would really appreciate it, and it helps the channel out a lot. Now, let's get back to the video.
But that is included in the price. So use it, love it. Finance details. Estimated mortgage. This would be a good potential subject too. Because they bought it in 21. Current loan amount is estimated at 230. So if you want me to break down a subject two on this, drop a comment below and I will make up kind of like a mock mortgage statement, and then we can go through and analyze that, and I'll show you how to put together a subject to offer. Let us calculate now. I'm going to call this 8434 Smithfield. And our purchase price. So they are asking 312. So they're asking 312. They've been on the market for about 60 days now because they played the game of on and off. So with that being said, I think we're going to make our offer price 290. Or excuse me, our ARV is going to be 290 or after repair value. Now, I don't think this house needs any work, but it is 20 years old, or excuse me, 25 years old now. And things are, if they're still original, we kind of have to factor that in. Now, we can get our boots on the ground to go investigate further if we get closer on an offer. But based on what I'm seeing, I'm going to pretend that those things are 25 years old and probably going to need to be replaced soon. So if we're thinking our end value or our ARV after repair value is only going to be 290, then we're going to take 70% of that for our offer price, 203. So our cash price is 203,000. We are going to offer to pay both sides of the closing costs. So that's going to be about 4%. Our lender is going to charge us 2 points, whether that's a hard money lender or a DSCR, debt service coverage ratio lender. And we're going to pretend like there are no improvements needed. Down payment, we only want to do 20 if we can. Our term, we want to push out to 30. And our interest rate for investors right now, I think, is about 6.75. All right, our rents, Zillow didn't tell us anything, but it said one of the neighboring properties average was about 1,900. This is just shy of 18. So now we're going to jump over to HUD and check what their minimum would be, or excuse me, their maximum would be. Okay, so Section 8 or HUD, this is their website. I'll drop the link below as well. But for a 3-bedroom, they're saying their max they will pay is $1,760. And based on this, $1,690, I think we're going to stick with that $1,690 just to be safe. If we can get more for it, awesome. Our insurance, we are estimating at $2,981. Let's just double check that over here. I think I went too far, sorry. $2,850, and the Nest is saying 29. We're going to go with the higher number. I'd rather estimate all of my numbers high and not move on a deal than go low, buy something, and get a surprise 30, 60 days after closing. Our insurance is going to be about $125 a month, so that's $1,500. Our property manager is going to charge us 10%. Our tenant's going to be paying all of our utilities. War chest, 5% for repairs and maintenance, vacancy, and CapEx, capital expenditures. CapEx is going to be stuff like your roof, your furnace, the big ticket stuff, really. And with the repairs and maintenance, there's always a ding or a dent somewhere that's going to need to be taken care of, whether it's this month or a couple months down the road. Appreciation rate on the property, I'll stick with the 2%. I generally raise my rents about 2.5% per year. We're going to plan to hold it for 10 years, and we are real estate investors. We don't pay full commissions. All right, let's see what these numbers say.
I need a favor. If you're getting value from this, would you hit that like button for me? It really helps the channel out, and I appreciate you for it. Now, back to the video.
Oh, ouch. Even offering over $100,000 less than they're asking, you're still losing $85 a month. Not a good cash deal, but let's go through some of these numbers and see where the issue may be. So for almost $52,000, you can lose $85 a month. That's not fun. Gap rate, if you follow that, that's more of a multifamily thing. DSCR, which we covered earlier, they generally look for a 1.2, and this isn't even 1 yet. Cash on cash return, negative. ROI, or return on investment, is 9.2. So after a 10-year hold, though. So in 10 years, you can make 9%. The 1% rule, if you follow that, doesn't even meet that. I'd love the breakdown that the InvestNest does here, so I know where each dollar is going. So our expenses are just a lot higher by $85. And what else? So yeah, I mean, you're holding this thing for 5 years before you even get not even a full 0.5% return. Not a good deal. But they break down everything in here. I love this stuff. And that's also including rent increases without the property taxes going up or insurance going up. All right, I think we beat this horse to death. So now we're going to do my favorite part and analyze the creative deal. This is my creative calculator. You can get it off my website, christhompsonteam.com. The link will also be below. All right, figuring our ARV, we're saying this thing ARV is going to be 290. So with a creative deal, we're going to get a whole lot closer to that. Let's see. So our cash price was way, way low. If we're going in creative, they're asking 312. You know what? Let's throw them the 290 and see how the numbers play out. I'll give you 290 on a seller finance deal, and we'll say I'll give you 2% interest. All right, now to figure out our PITI, or principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, we're going to jump over to Bankrate. This is Bankrate, one of the free tools I use. It's just bankrate.com, but I'll have a link below as well. All right, so we're saying we're going to give them $290,000 at 5% down, 2% interest. Our zip code is 46237. Our monthly property taxes, $250. 150. Insurance we said was $125. All right, let's see what we got. All right, we might be able to make something work here. $1393 for principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. We'll go plug that number in. 1393. 1393. And our potential rents, we said we're going to be 1790. All right, technical difficulties on my calculator. I had something messed up on there, so I've got that fixed. So we're back to 290, 5% down, 2% interest. All of these figures come out correctly. 1393. We're going to go plug in this over here, 1393. And here's our potential rents, gross cash flow. There we go. So even at this, we're going to be losing $50 a month. And we haven't even factored any of this stuff in. So now that I have the formulas correct, let us try to see what number would actually just make this thing work. So let's try 250. 250 at 5% down. Still our 2% interest. All right, 1253. Well, 53. All right, at least we're positive now. So that's only going to make $89.50 a month, which still not a good deal, but let's finish this thing off and just kind of see where the numbers fall. So that's going to require $12,500 down. Agent commissions, 1%, so 2,500. There is no assignment fee because we are not using a wholesaler. Closing costs are going to be about 10,000. We're saying that there's not going to be any renovations. 2 months of holding is going to be 2 months of this PITI, or principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. No arrears, and a good TC is going to cost you about $1,500. So for 30 grand, you can make not even $100 a month and take 27 years to get your return. I don't see it working on a cash deal or a creative deal. What are your thoughts?
I need a favor. Can you hit that like button for me? I would really appreciate it, and it helps the channel out a lot. Now, let's get back to the video.
That is going to do it for 8424 Smithfield Lane in Indianapolis. Not a good cash deal, not a good creative deal. What are your thoughts? How do we make this thing work? Is there a better option? Subject to could be a great option. I don't know. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop them below. And that is going to do it for us on this episode here in the Corner Barn on the Weekly Deal Analysis. I am Chris Thompson, that bearded guy, the creative guy. We'll see you next week.